Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the Stay Creative podcast. Podcast I am trying to put together because I believe to be creative is to be human. And I believe there are ways we can practice and enrich and perfect even our ability to create and add beauty to the world and bring the things inside of us outside of us. I think we all possess the ability to be our favorite artist, and I am excited to have a conversation today with a new friend of mine. His name is Slackerman. We'll get into some of what he makes and some of the why behind what he makes here in our conversation today. I'm super grateful for his time. I'm excited to share this with y'all, and I hope you guys enjoy it. First thing I really want to do as kind of a loose format for this show idea is start with more about who you are. I know you as a pseudonym Slackerman.
Okay.
I doubt that's the name your parents gave you. If you want to tell us your name, you can, or if you just want to tell us more about who you are, where you are, what's your favorite hobby other than music? Little things like that.
Okay.
I want to know you.
No worries. My real name is Jay, and right now I am staying here in the Middle East, in the United Arab Emirates, Dubai.
Okay.
So I've been here for like around, I think, 11 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was born and raised in Manila, and I moved here in around late 2007. So I have worked for like I have worked as a graphic designer here for like 8 years. Well, up until today, up until now. But it's just that I just got laid off last year, so I've been looking for a job since. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of like my background, and
Yeah.
so
I suppose extra free time is never the worst thing to happen to an artist, I suppose. But it is certainly hard being laid off. I know some other people in the Discord that we met through have recently been dealing with that due to the stuff going on in the world.
yeah. I mean, it's been
that's a shame.
Yeah, it's been a weird a year and a half for me actually. So, but I'm okay. But the good thing that came out of this is this thing that we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
This thing.
So a lot of. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so a lot of the music on your Attack of the Oversound, a lot of that has been in the last year and a half or so, or since you moved to Dubai. Like, when primarily have you been working on just these releases that I most recently listened to?
Okay, so I started this around, I think, October last year, because
Awesome.
yeah. So I was like, it was kind of like a result of a lot of different things, like panic, stuff like that, like a lot of different kinds of I would say psychological or emotional discomfort, I would say. So the way it came about was like, I was on a plane coming back here, and I had my laptop with me. I was so bored, and I remembered, hey, I have Reason on my laptop, so I started goofing off. The first song that I did was the second track, Funk That Shit. But
Oh
yeah, but from there I started coming up with all the other songs like Out of the Dustbin, stuff like that. So the way the songs are ordered is actually they are ordered in the way I made them, except for Funk That Shit, which is kind of like supposedly the first track, but I felt like this is too
Okay.
mind numbing, so I placed it on the second track. So
That's awesome. I actually noticed like each track kind of starts up, and while it sounds like a cohesive, body of work, it sounds like one artist has made the tracks. Each track kind of made me think, oh well, that last track wasn't anything. Almost like each track would reveal new things that you were maybe working on or working through. And I noticed specifically like at the end of Out of the Dustbin, that first track, which I loved. Like it's kind of like I'm going to use the term minimalism, but not in a way that's supposed to be like a detraction or anything. Like it is minimalistic in that it's not like a I don't know. It's not overly complicated. It kind of comes and goes like waves a little bit, like it's the groove kind of persists, and then on top of it another little piece and another little piece until honestly the first time I listened to Out of the Dustbin, I didn't realize it, but I had my VLC media player on repeat 1, and I listened to it 3 or 4 times in a row before I realized it was the same track looping, and it was just that easy to kind of fall into. But yeah, I was gonna say the track order you already kind of answered. The track order is all just kind of with the order you made them in. So was it a specific intention, like when you sat down to make track 3, were you specifically saying, I don't want it to sound anything like the last thing I made?
actually, it's not, but the way I wrote them, this is going to sound really, really silly. But the way I wrote them is like I was thinking of scenes in my head, because there's actually a running theme over them. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a soundtrack for a comic book that exists in my head.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and that's awesome, because I feel I most often will provide feedback to the folks in the IMF Discord. In like, I think this music goes with such and such scene, and all of your music gave me that same type of feeling. Like they all sounded like intro songs to like those 90 MTV like cartoons, that were like based on comic books. They all sounded like, I don't know. They left me wanting more while also keeping me kind of entrapped in what was happening.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to ask though, in our kind of who are you section, is who are you a fan of? Like who is some of like your earliest influences? Who's influencing you now? And bonus fun question would be, if you could hang out with anybody, who would it be?
Okay. So my earliest influences would have to be Sex Pistols.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of punk rock, and then there's also Rage Against the Machine and Helmet.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different stuff, and then I started progressing. My listening habits started progressing from the heavy stuff. Like I listened to Lemon Jelly, Gorillaz, and then of course one of the biggest influence for this thing for the album was I would say White Zombie and Nightmares on Wax, and also Lemon Jelly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know Lemon Jelly too well, but White Zombie is, I can hear that almost in like an industrial. I don't know if they're industrial, like power industrial at times. Some of your tracks would hit, but also while maintaining kind of a groovy undertone, and really just other than one track, I had fun the whole time. One track specifically The video and the music went together so perfectly. I think it was In a Dark Place.
Ah,
Um, I was unsettled the whole time listening to that one. What was going on when you were working on that one? Did the
well,
video come first or the music?
well, the music came first, and I kind how would I say this? So the music came first. It was like I came up with the progression and stuff like that, and I thought to myself, wow, this is like heavy stuff, you know. Like it really felt for me, at least for me, the track kind of felt like how would I say this? Kind of felt like a white zombie track for me. So
Yeah.
that's what I thought about it. But then the thing is, the music, the videos that you saw, like for example, the music video that you saw, they came later on because I was kind of like okay, we'll get back to that. But the
Yeah.
music videos that you saw is kind of like a result of another project that I was working on. Actually, I made two albums. You're only listening to one
Oh.
right now. There's another one coming up, and then for the second set of videos, I decided I'm gonna I'm gonna hunt down a public domain. I wanted to make music videos basically, so I'm gonna so for the second set of songs, I completed them, and then I made the videos for them. They're up in YouTube, but I just haven't released them yet. But
Gotcha.
when I finished that, I felt really, how would I call this? There was a void somewhere, and then I started working on Attack of the Oversound and creating videos for them. So for In a Dark Place, it was so funny because I was like looking at, I was hunting down public domain videos, and then I saw this video. It's called I saw this movie. It's called Driller Killer, and I was going through it. I was going through it. I was talking to myself, and I was saying, "Oh my God, this is so cheap. It will work," you know. So it's so funny. I was looking at the video. It was so funny. I was watching the film because there was sections of somebody killing someone, and then it transitions over to a band playing. There was no. I mean, when I was scraping through the video, it was like there's no real structure in this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when I created the video for In a Dark Place, it was like I was laughing my ass off. And then suddenly when I posted it on YouTube, it got blocked. And then I said,
Uh-oh.
why did it get blocked? It said community guidelines and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, is it because it's violent and stuff like that? So I watched it and I was like, oh my God, it is violent. And then I just I just stuck with it, you know. So that's
Yeah.
so I mean, every time somebody watches that, that's why I marked it NSFW 18 above. So that just to avoid stuff like that. But generally, I'm not a dark person. It's
Yeah,
just
I
that
feel you.
it's just a result of something, you know, and I just stuck with it, basically.
Yeah, I understand that, and kind of calling back to you talking about White Zombie being one of your influences. I feel like a lot of folks who make some dark music at times seem to have like a less of that in their just everyday personality. You know what I mean? They're able to distinguish between this is a piece of art. Yes, it's kind of dark, but that's not who I am. That's just something I've made. You know, and I feel like all of your other pieces combined to make a pretty, I don't know, a cohesive but also adventurous album. Let me see. I realized I skipped over something that I really did want to know. You told me who your early influences are. Who are you into right now? Like right now, what's the last thing you listened to on YouTube or Spotify that wasn't your own jams?
Well, that's a weird thing though. I've been listening to a lot of independent artists lately because of what's going on right now. Because you encounter a lot of people. You what do you call this? You listen to a lot of stuff. It's almost random now. You know, it's like sometimes you don't even remember the name of the how they call this the name of the artist. But the thing is, I have not been abreast of the music scene in a very long time. I've been discovering good stuff from some the IMF people, the IMF community. I really like somewhat incognito's track, Trisha,
Yeah.
especially
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, that one. So that one's nice. And then you have this guy, in for kill. Oh, shout outs.
Oh yeah, yeah. There.
Yeah, yeah. So his tracks are really great. They're
Hmm.
but his tracks are really great and well produced. Soren Lip's tracks are really good as well. So
Mm,
so
for sure.
I mean, all of these guys that I'm listening to right now, I think they're really good producers, and I'm not really at their skill level, to be honest with you. And sometimes
Mm.
listening to their tracks is kind of like, wow, they're so good. I wish
Yeah, yeah.
I can have that time in the world to know about this kind of stuff. But for me, the way
Mm.
I create my stuff is kind of like, sorry, it's kind of like, I would say the way I use how I used to play in a band. So I hear things the way I remember them. That's why. That's
Mm.
what I mean. So now I'm also discovering stuff like death grips, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's so weird right now because I was kind of like stuck listening to White Zombie and Lemon Jelly, White Zombie and Lemon Jelly,
Mm. Hmm.
So for the past like maybe 5 years, and then in between that there's discoveries like Tame the Impala,
Mm.
Temples, and there's also Bleachers, but
Yeah, yeah.
they don't really have a big impact for me. The last one that had a really big impact for me, I guess, would be the Go Team.
The Go team.
Yeah, the Go Team.
Okay.
So
Nice, nice.
those are the kind of stuff that I'm listening to right now. That I listen to, but right now it's kind of like it's so weird that it's like because it's so vast and wide nowadays, you know,
Mm. Hmm.
and there's a lot of hip hop going on, and there's also a lot of trap beats going on. So every now and then you will get also I love Inforkill because of the space rock theme. So I
Yeah,
love
for sure.
I love their music. So yeah, those
Yeah.
that's
Well,
how it is.
that's awesome. Yeah, a ton of wonderful shout outs of people that I have also like found to be invested in this community and like always seeking to sharpen one another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have never the people you mentioned, I've never seen them bring anybody down. You know, like
Yeah.
even in their criticisms, they're very
Mm,
positive folks. And speaking to them who are currently listening
mm,
to this, if they have any questions, if anybody listening to this right now have
mm.
questions, type them into the general chat, and I will work them into this conversation.
Nice.
But my next question is actually I'd like to know more about the why of your creative practice. I know you said, well, I've got Reason on my laptop stuck on an airplane like that. That's a wonderful reason to start, but I don't know that that's a reason to produce the wide array of sounds and video and mixed media stuff that you have made and shared with me. So what is it that you want your music to accomplish in the listener, but also in yourself? Like, what is it you're trying to work out as you create?
Well, initially it was more like because um when I got laid off, people has always told me you need to start doing your own stuff, So
Mm.
and when I was kind of like going through that, I thought to myself, what will I do? It's like I know how to make, I know how to, how they call this, I know to do graphic design. I know the whole multimedia stuff, and
Hmm.
but for me, I would love to run a business with that, but it's not going to be easy. And I need to do
Mm.
something really different. I need to do something for myself.
Yeah.
So when when I made them, I
Oh,
my
mercy.
no, it's okay.
Sorry
So
about that.
no, it's fine. So when I made them, my goal and my intention was, at first my intention was just to create a music album, it's like SoundCloud, and then it it became a multimedia project. So it's going to be like a series of videos about my music, and then it's really up to them whether if they want to watch it or not. But for me, at least, the thinking was like I just need to leave something out there that people can watch, that people can see that I made, whether if it's I mean it's not going whether if can be used as a professional reference or not, but you cannot really use this as a professional reference because first of all it's called Slackerman.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so but it's just me displaying or showing people that hey, I have created something, and how I want you guys to dig into it, whether you like it or not, it's fine. But it's just
Yeah.
that's the main goal, it's like I just need to create something, and also I wanted to create music videos and animation. So I think this is like a good starting point for me, because I want this to develop into some kind of a project like gorillas or something. I always
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always call this as a gorillas light project, so,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
so
The Groove Man Chronicles. I want to talk about that song because
ah
I listened to it on
uh,
in my car the first time, and I
uh-huh.
thought I was being abducted by aliens. So I want, if you have memories of the exact time you sat making that song, I want to know more about exactly how it came together. So I want to know about your structure for making a song specifically, but I'd like to talk about that one individually. So like how do you start? Like where does your idea start? Do you sit and tap out a beat, or do you start with, creating a synth? I've recently found out people create their own synths. Mind blown. Tell me about it.
well, this one, how did this start? This one started with a drum beat,
Okay.
basically. But actually, okay. So when I was making it, there was this scene in my head about the guy Slackerman talking to someone like an like an old wizard DJ, So he's like a Gandalf with headphones,
Yes.
which is called the Groove Man. So that's
Yeah.
that's how I came up with the idea. Now for the process of creating it, it was more like beat, and then how they call this, a bass line. So I wrote the bass line with my how do you call this, with my acoustic guitar, and then I just tried to find it on the MIDI keyboard, and
Gotcha.
then the rest is more like humming. It's like, oh, I have this bass line, I have this how do you call this, I have this bass line, I have this drum beat, and then what would go well with that? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
and then oh, that sounds really well in my head, so I need to find I need to find something close to that, so, and then just research, like
Yeah.
how do I do that, how do I make it sound like that, stuff like that, and then in that what came out, so it's just one of the scenes in my, how do I call this,
In your
in my
comic book.
weird comic book.
Yeah, yeah. That's
so
fantastic.
so so that's how I came about with it. So the Groove Man is actually in one of the videos. So the actual video for it, I use Tom and Jerry, an old Tom and Jerry film. And then the visualizer for it, if you see, there's a drawing of, if you can go through the channel, you will see that I have it drawn and animated, and he's on top of one of the videos.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed it. He kind of has like he has almost like a robotic walk to him, you know.
Yeah, I heard he's
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
the feet stomping or something.
I dig it. So we actually we got a question from one of our live listeners, Inferkill. You've already shouted him out, so we're going to answer his question. He asked if you just referred to yourself in the third person. So, are you Slackerman? Is the band Slackerman? Is Slackerman a deity you're personifying? What's going on here?
Well, Slackerman is kind of like it's. I would say it's kind of like it's more like an introspection, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's another side of me. I would
Gotcha.
say so. It's another side of me that a lot of people don't know. So it's like, um, I love creating stuff, but but I used to work in a corporate field, so you have to be someone else. So this is kind of like that other side, you know. So I'm like I used to work in a very professional field where everything or everything is so stiff. You have to be presented in a way. You have to produce certain kind of stuff, and this is kind of like this is a passion project for me. So not a lot of people will understand this. Not even my friends. Not even how they call this, my mom.
Yeah.
Not even my mom will understand this, but for me this is kind of like this is kind of like a different side of me that I want to people to know. I want to share to people, you know. So that's how it is. And calling myself the third person, did I do that? I didn't really know.
I think
Didn't really
you
notice.
said in the video the Slacker Man walks up to the Groove Man.
Ah,
I think is what
yeah, yeah.
specifically what you said, but it did need a little more clarity. I think so. I'm glad he sent over that question, and I'm glad, man. I don't want to move too far past like what you just said is one of the most beautiful parts of creating. You know, we get to personify these feelings. We get to live in them and not be them for a little while. You know, like you get to say, I am currently not my desk job. I am the Slacker Man, and I'm gonna swagger all over this place. To borrow a word from our dear friend, someone on incognito. And I think that's beautiful. You know, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the fact that you're doing it means someone's gonna see you doing it and say, I'm gonna give that a try. I need that freedom in my life, you know? And I'm grateful you're creating stuff. I'm grateful we've had time to have this talk. I'll start to wrap up now just by asking specifically where all can we find you on on social media, YouTube, Twitter, wherever, whatever it is that you use to be the Slacker Man for all to see.
Well, mainly my main how do you call this? My main stuff can be found on YouTube. You can just go to Slackerman Music. I use Slackerman Music because somebody took Slackerman. But I use almost the same in everything. So I am on YouTube. I am on SoundCloud. I am on how do I call this? I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. Instagram, you can find some of the artwork maybe.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It has not been consistent, but I draw stuff and I post it there. So
Awesome.
I'm also on Twitch. So sometimes I live stream this stuff on Twitch, hoping I can get traction there. So
Yeah, yeah. Well,
but mainly it's YouTube.
I was gonna say I'll be sure every single one of those links is included wherever I end up posting this this conversation that we've had, so people can follow you. I will work on subscribing and following and whatever all the hearting. I think one of the websites you just push a heart. I don't even Twitch. That's what it is. So I'll get all those followed, man. And I'm super grateful to have had this conversation with you, Jay.
No worries. Thank you so much. Is it Jones? T-Rex Jones? I didn't get your name.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my human name is Chris, My
Okay.
musician personification is Barabbas T-Rex Jones. So any assortment of those letters, you can call me. It's all good.
All right. I really appreciate it, and oh my God, this is actually fun.
We will
It's
do it
actually
again.
fun to finally tell people what it's about. It's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, get
Thank you
that
so
get that
much.
get that second album done so we can do it again. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. I'll let you guys know definitely. I mean, it's already up there. It's in the cloud. It's just
Yeah.
that I cannot decide whether if I should release it now or the next month or in 6 months time. So,
You know,
that's
I speak for everyone listening when I say you should have released it yesterday. So we could
I should
be
have released it
we could be
yesterday.
listening to it right now. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And to think I'm living in the future, right?
That's true. Yeah. Yesterday for you is still kind of today for me. Life's weird, Slacker man.
No worries.
I had a lot of fun talking today with Jay. He is an excellent, legit person. I'm glad to know he is in the world and he's adding things to it more every day. I hope we get to talk to him again when he releases the other half of what he's working on. That's really exciting. Please see the notes below the show, wherever you're listening to it, for the links to his social media and his music and stuff. And in the meantime, until we speak again, stay courageous, stay curious, and stay creative.